Today we are bringing to you an exclusive case study that we have worked on as Ashnik team. We're going to be taking you through the insurance domain solutioning using EDB Postgres. And before we get going on that, quickly, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Monika. She's a solution consultant working with Ashnik, and she's a thoroughly experienced professional in data mining and integration tools with more than 8 years of experience in business intelligence, integration services, and database engineering. And she's going to be telling us and taking us through insurance domain solutions using EDB Postgres. So this is an interesting case study that we've done in Singapore. It's for a life insurance product here, and she's going to be talking to us about the business challenges that she came across with this and the solutions that we as Ashnik gave the client. So yeah, let's get going. To begin with, so just tell us, Monika, what is Bancassurance?
Okay, hi Deepti. So this Bancassurance, as you say, it's a combination of bank and insurance. So it is nothing but a relationship between bank and insurance where insurance company is selling their policies to the bank customer.
Okay.
So this is one of the pilot project which started in Singapore a year back, and now it is in production. So all the banks and insurance companies are integrating their customer data and their policy data, and they are also stating a format which is a standard format called Accord. And very soon we will see many other bank companies and the insurance companies will be adopting this standard with their other insurance partners as well.
Fantastic. So this was a pilot project for Ashnik.
Yes.
As well as the insurance company.
Insurance company.
Great. Okay. So moving on, what are the challenges that the client brought to you when they approached us?
Yes, so anyways, this integration was already there, but they had no standard. So bank was anyways exposing their customer data to insurance companies. Insurance companies were still selling their policies. But this was all manual, it was very ad hoc. So whenever bank wanted to understand, what commission they have to pay to the agents, they were coming back to insurance companies. Insurance companies were calculating everything manually, sending it to bank. So it was like a lot of churning of reports, and it was time consuming, and even it was not very accurate. We helped them design a solution, but before that we wanted to understand what exact challenges they are facing. So their major challenge was that it was not real time. So if you see, real time is the need of today. So it was not really real time, it was on a very ad hoc basis. And now the bank also wanted to know what transactions are going on at the insurance level, and even the insurance company level, they wanted to know what customers' behavior is changing so that they can pitch in their new products. So this was quite challenging, integrating both the system, bank system and insurance system, and again transferring the data on real-time basis. So this was a major challenge.
So what sort of solutioning did you provide to the client?
So client was more focused on the technology adoption. So they wanted to bring in open source here, and they also wanted to utilize one of the technology instead of having a technology stack. So at the beginning they focused more on the data integration tool. So they bought one of the open source BI tool in picture, and they offloaded everything on that ETL tool. Once when we actually get into technology, we should actually understand the ecosystem. But since it was on the urge of time, the company just got their solution done on the ETLing. And though it could suffice the solution, it could help generate the files as they wanted, but again, it was not real time. So even they adopted a technology, still the solution, the problem remained the same. They could not generate the files on a real time basis. So there, as Ashnik, we came in picture, and we helped them to redesign their whole process.
Okay, fantastic.
So we helped them to understand what technology stack they should use. Again, both the technology stacks were open source, and we also helped them to redesign their complete solution.
Okay.
So their initial challenge with one of the ETL tool, what they faced is the policy generation were taking like 6 days. So that's way too much. Like a bank won't wait for 6 days to get the data. So it's very far from near real time. Then we also saw using the ETL tool, we had 0 KB files. It's like you sending 0 data to the bank. That doesn't make sense. So there were a lot of modification made they divided the data on multiple servers. It did improve the performance from 6 days to 5 days, but still, it was not something manageable. Then we redesigned the whole landscape. We found out that ETL has its limitations, and on top we got the database technology in. So whatever execution which was offloaded on the ETL, we offloaded on the database. And this database was EDB Postgres, which is one of the most popular databases in open source, which the companies are adopting and are using from years. And this tool really helped us. The database, offloading everything on database really helped us on the faster execution. So when we redesigned our system, we offloaded all the processing on EDB. You won't believe that 6 days of execution was completed in 30 minutes.
Oh, fantastic.
So
wow.
30 minutes of data migration, which was the first process, and on top of it was the data synchronization, which took almost like not even 10 seconds per policy. So it was very close to near real data exchange, which was the main objective of the bank and insurance company.
Really, really interesting. Thank you, Monika. So tell us, did you face any challenges, while you were designing the solution for the client?
Challenges, yes, definitely, because the data was coming from upstream system. Mm-hmm. So even we helped the business to understand how their data should be flowing. So we helped them redesign their source as well. So the kind of data they were sending us, there were a lot of duplication, there were a lot of impurities, the data was not clean, the data was missing. So when we implemented our process, we had the validation check as well. So we could go back to the business, tell them that what are the missing fields which are important as per the CORD standard. So this data has to be shared with bank. So then they worked on their source system, they improved their retailing process, they make sure that all the required fields are being generated. So we help business also to redefine their process, we redefine the intermediate process, and then we could actually give the data to the bank on near real-time basis. And this actually helped, majorly the business, what I'll say, mm-hmm. that the agents were paid out their commission on time. So even the agents were happy.
So it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
So this was a great business model. Used EDB Postgres as one of the main technologies to help bring this about. So would you like to tell us the scenarios of how you used it to your advantage, in the business solution here?
Yes. So as I said, EDB Postgres really played a major role. So initially EDB Postgres wasn't pictured, but it was just used as a data storage. So a client was just getting the data from source, dumping into EDB Postgres and using the ETL capabilities instead of EDB. So whatever data transformations were done, whatever data we were being pushed, everything was done on the ETL. And execution of the files. So here the format, the output was XML. So we were sending the data to the bank in XML format. So the even generation of XML was at the ETL level, which was a major challenge, which was resolved by Postgres, EDB Postgres. So what we did is, we redesigned the model. We still use the data storage medium as our EDB, but what we changed was the execution, processing and generation of XML files. So everything we offloaded to database. So database performance, EDB performance was tremendous. We could generate a single policy file, as I said, in less than 10 seconds. So designing of that Accord model, which was a nested loop, which was a very complex loop, was offloaded to EDB, where we designed that complete structure. Even the policies the structure was generated on the database level, and it was only fired on the ETL level. So ETL was just a medium to transfer those files to the bank.
Okay.
So this was the major advantage of using EDB Postgres. So EDB Postgres supports all the XML features, say it XML, attribute, element, AGG. So everything is supported by EDB. It's fantastic. Its performance is fantastic as well.
Okay. So do you have any tips for any other enterprise who wants to adopt a similar business model?
Definitely, if the insurance companies are looking forward to adopt a card, which is a global standard, I think this is the solution which they should look forward to, and we as a Ashnik can pitch in.
Yeah. So important is talk to us.
Yes, do come to us. So we can redesign any landscape for you. You can have any technology stack. It need not to be the same which we used in one of our projects here. You can use any of the open source ETL, and definitely I would suggest to use EDB because it has been a boon for not just us but for both the clients, being bank or insurance company.
Would you also like to tell us, the best EDB Postgres features besides XML, of course, which you already talked to us about?
Yes, so XML was one of the major features. It was well supported by EDB Postgres. Other than that, we have also worked with the similar kind of client setup using JSON format. So even EDB Postgres gives a tremendous performance with JSON. So JSON files are similar, not really similar to XML, but then they are the array of structure where the data is stored in a document form. So EDB Postgres has really helped us to generate those JSON files in a similar amount of time. So again, we could exchange real-time data in JSON format as well.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for talking to us, Monika, and taking your time out today to explain, how you brought this about. And this is it from us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.